Good morning, students. Welcome to online class. Department of Collegiate and Technical Education, Automobile Engineering Department, first semester. Name of the subject is Mechanical Science and Engineering. We are studying unit number 2, that is shafts, keys, couplings and bearings. So today we are in session number 5. Before starting session number 5, let me introduce myself. I am Mr. Vinayak S. Nayak, Selection Grade Lecturer, TSIT Polytechnic, Hubli. So in the previous session, that is session number 4, we have studied regarding the introduction to keys, function of key, types of keys, construction of different keys with neat diagram. So why we are using keys? So before that we have studied regarding the shafts. So when we are using shafts, we have to use keys. So we have studied the function of key, types of keys. So in the types of keys, we have studied sunk key, gibb-headed key, Woodruff key, etc. So apart from that, we have studied regarding the construction of different keys with neat diagram. So these are the some of the keys here. So square key, flat key, then feather key, Woodruff key, gibb-headed key, taper key, and also we have studied regarding the splines. So today in session number 5, the contents are introduction to shaft couplings, then requirement of a good shaft coupling, types of shaft couplings, and multiple choice questions. In short, it is called MCQs. In introduction to shaft couplings, why we are using shaft couplings? What are the functions? And in the requirement of a good shaft coupling, so how our good shaft coupling must be? What are the requirements that we have to study in requirement of a good shaft coupling? Then we have to study what are the types of shaft couplings, how the shaft couplings are classified, which type of shaft coupling is used for particular application, so that we have to study in the types of shaft couplings along with the examples. So in multi-choice questions, already you have familiar, each question is having 4 answers. Out of 4, 1 will be the correct answer. So we have to choose or select the correct answer. So let us study one by one. Number 1 is introduction to shaft coupling. So here this is our shaft coupling which couples the two shafts. One shaft is here and another shaft is here. So these shafts are coupled by coupling. So that's why it is known as shaft coupling. So this coupling couples the shafts. So that's why it is known as shaft coupling. Coupling is a device used to make permanent or semi-permanent connection of two shafts. See students, this shaft coupling couples only the shafts. So it is a device used to make permanent or semi-permanent connection of two shafts. Shafts are available up to 7 meters in length due to inconvenience in transport. That means the shafts are available only up to 7 meters in length, because if they are more than 7 meters in length, it is difficult to transport the shafts from one place to another. So they are available only up to 7 meters in length. In order to have a greater length, it becomes necessary to join two or more pieces of the shaft by means of a coupling. So the coupling joins permanent or semi-permanent connection of two or more pieces of the shaft when we require more than 7 meters in length. So this is the introduction to shaft coupling. So next we will study regarding what are the requirements of a good shaft coupling. That means how our shaft coupling must be. That is the requirements. A good shaft coupling should have the following requirements. Number 1, it should be easy to connect or disconnect. That means when we are joining the two shafts with a coupling, it is easy for the operator to connect or disconnect. It should not be difficult. So that is the first requirement of the good shaft coupling. Second one, it should transmit the full power from one shaft to other shaft without losses. That means we are familiar. When we are transmitting any power, it may be electrical power, fluid power, engine power in the vehicle, from one place to another or one shaft to other shaft, there will be a little loss is there. But when we are using a good shaft coupling, it should transmit the full power from one shaft to other shaft without losses. Third requirement, it should hold the shafts in perfect alignment. When the operator connects the two shafts with a coupling, initially it is in the alignment only. So it is in the perfectly alignment. But our shaft coupling should hold the shafts in perfect alignment even at the working of the shafts also. Fourth one, it should reduce the transmission of shock loads from one shaft to another shaft. That means when the shafts are rotating or working, there will be a little shock or vibration created on the shaft. So that shock loads should not transmit to the connected another shaft. So our good shaft coupling should reduce the transmission of shock loads from one shaft to another shaft. Fifth requirement is that our good shaft coupling should have not any projecting parts. That means our shaft coupling, if it is having projecting parts, it will damage to the operator and it is not safe. For that, our good shaft coupling should have not any projecting parts. These are the requirements of a good shaft coupling. Dear students, next we have to study regarding the types of shaft couplings. So the types of shaft couplings are mainly divided into two groups. Number 1, rigid coupling, and number 2, flexible coupling. So number 1, rigid coupling. It is used to connect two shafts which are perfectly aligned. That means the two shafts must be perfectly aligned. Then only we are using rigid coupling. So this is the rigid coupling. So here one shaft is fitted and here another shaft is joined with the help of rigid coupling. So the examples of rigid couplings are sleeve or muff coupling, clamp or split muff or compression coupling, and flange coupling. These are the examples of rigid coupling. Second one that is flexible coupling. It is used to connect two shafts having both lateral and angular misalignment. So this is our flexible coupling is here. So in a rigid coupling, we are connecting two shafts which have perfectly alignment. But in flexible coupling, it is used to connect two shafts having both lateral and angular misalignment. So the examples of flexible couplings are bushed pin type coupling, universal coupling, and Oldham coupling. These are the examples of the flexible coupling. Dear students, next we will study regarding the multiple choice questions. As I already explained that the multiple choice questions, simply called MCQs, are having, each question is having 4 answers. Out of 4 we have to choose one correct answer. One will be the correct answer, so that we have to choose or select. So here, number 1, coupling is a device used to make permanent or semi-permanent connection of. Here the options are number 1, 2 bars, number 2, 2 shafts, third one is 2 nails, fourth one is 2 screws. See, already we have studied that the coupling is a device used to make permanent or semi-permanent connection of two shafts. So here option number 2, there is a 2 shafts answer is there. So here the correct answer is number 2, that is 2 shafts. Second MCQ, to have a greater length of shaft more than 7 meters, the shafts are joined by means of, options are number 1 couplings, number 2 bolts, number 3 nuts, fourth one is screws. So already we have studied that the shafts are available only up to 7 meters because of difficulties in transportation from one place to another. So if we require more than 7 meters in the length of the shafts, we are joining the two shafts with a couplings. So here in the options, the number 1 is having couplings is the answer. So here we have to choose number 1, that is couplings, which is the correct answer. Third MCQ, one of the requirement of a good coupling. Number 1, it has projecting parts. Number 2, misaligned shafts. Number 3, easy to connect or disconnect. Fourth one, increases the transmission shocks. Here, the options 1, 2 and 4 are wrong answers because they are not the requirement of a good coupling. One of the requirement of a good coupling is the coupling must be easy to connect or disconnect. So here the option is third one. So third is the correct answer, that is easy to connect or disconnect. Fourth one, types of couplings are number 1 bolts and nuts, number 2 screws and rivets, number 3 rigid coupling and flexible coupling, fourth is the none of the above. So number 1 and 2, they are the types of the fasteners, whereas option number 3 is types of couplings. They are rigid coupling and flexible coupling. So answer is the third one. So we have to choose option number 3, that is the correct answer. So rigid coupling and flexible coupling are the types of couplings. Fifth MCQ, it is used to connect two shafts which are perfectly aligned. Number 1, sleeve or muff coupling. Number 2, bushed pin type coupling. Number 3, universal coupling. Fourth one is Oldham coupling. See students, here the options 2, 3 and 4 are the examples of flexible coupling which are using for joining or connecting the two shafts which are misaligned. But here the question is, it is used to connect two shafts which are perfectly aligned. So in rigid coupling, we are connecting the two shafts which are perfectly aligned. So the sleeve or muff coupling is the example of rigid coupling. So here the option is 1. 1 is the correct answer for this question. Sixth one, requirement of a good couplings are, the options are, it should have no projecting parts. Number 2, it should hold the shafts in perfect alignment. Third one, it should be easy to connect or disconnect. Fourth one, all of the above. So here option number 1, 2 and 3 are the points of the requirement of a good couplings. So here the option is fourth one, that is all of the above, because above points number 1, 2 and 3 are the correct answers. So here the option is number 4 we have to choose because it is all of the above. Seventh MCQ, it is an example of rigid coupling. Options are number 1 bushed pin type coupling, number 2 universal coupling, number 3 sleeve or muff coupling, and fourth is the Oldham coupling. So we have studied that the examples of rigid coupling is sleeve or muff coupling, and options 1, 2 and 4 are the examples of flexible coupling. So here the correct answer is number 3, that is sleeve or muff coupling. Eighth one, it is used to connect two shafts having both lateral and angular misalignment. Options are number 1 muff coupling, number 2 split coupling, number 3 flange coupling, and fourth is the universal coupling. So dear students, Here the options 1, 2 and 3 are the examples of rigid coupling. So rigid coupling connects only two shafts having perfectly alignment. But here the question is, it is used to connect two shafts having both lateral and angular misalignment. So that is flexible coupling. So the universal coupling is the example of flexible coupling. So here the option is number 4, that is universal coupling. Ninth one, Oldham coupling is used to connect two shafts. Number 1, which are perfectly aligned. Number 2, which are not in exact alignment. Number 3, which have lateral misalignment. Fourth one is whose axes intersect at a small angle. Here, the Oldham coupling is the example of flexible coupling, which is used to connect two shafts which have lateral misalignment. So here the option is third one, that is which have lateral misalignment. So dear students, now I conclude this session. These are the reference books which I have referred for preparing this session. I hope you have understood this session. I am thankful to LMS team, our chairman sir, LMS coordinator and moderator for giving this opportunity to me to present this session. If you have any queries or doubts, please mail me. My mail ID is tsitvnaik11@gmail.com. Thank you. Thank you very much.